You're listening to the weekly Parsha Podcast with Ari Goldwag, recorded with Hashem's never-ending assistance in Ramat Beit Shemesh, Israel, 5785, 2025. This week's Parsha is Parshas Pinchas. At the end of our Parsha this week, we have Korbanos, and featuring largely something that we read every single month on Rosh Chodesh. We'll be reading next Shabbos. It's Karbani Lachmi Lishai. We read it every day in our davening, speaking about the Korban Tamid, the constant offering which was brought each and every day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Our tefillos, shachos, and mincha correspond to these two korbanos, to these sacrifices. I'd like to share with you a midrash, and the midrash speaks about the concept generally of korbanos, and it starts off as Karbani Lachmi Lishai. The passuk refers to the korban as my sacrifice. Hashem asks us to bring. Hashem says to us, bring my sacrifice, my bread, for my fire offering. Reach nichoyach ishel Hashem. It's a beautiful smell. It's a fire offering to Hashem. And the Midrash is going to bring, and I'd like to actually read the chapter in Tehillim, chapter in Psalms, chapter Nun, chapter 50. And it brings some pasukim from that parak, which are very interesting. I'd like to read it to you, actually the whole parak inside, before we get into the Midrash. It says like this. Listen up, listen carefully, it's very interesting. Mizmor L'Asaf. It's a song of Asaf. Kel Elikim Hashem. Dibir Vayikra Aretz. God gives us three different names for Hashem. Kel, which means the mighty God. Elikim means the power behind all of reality. Yud Kei Vav Kei, the one who is constantly bringing everything into existence. Hashem has spoken, and He calls the land. Mimizrach Shemesh HaMavoyoi, from the sun's rise until the sun sets. Mitzion Mechlal Yoifi Elikim Haifiyah. It talks about Zion, Jerusalem, the beautiful place. God appears from there, just like the sun rises and sets. You want to have an experience of Hashem, you want to see the light of Hashem, go to Yerushalayim. You're going to see Hashem's appearance there. Hashem will come, Hashem will appear, our God will appear, He won't be quiet. The fire is in front of Him and it consumes. Around Him, it's very fiery. I mean, you don't have to go very far, just look in the news about what's happening here in Israel, around us, in Gaza, in Syria. There's a lot of fire. Yikra el hashamayim me'ol, el artz ladin amoy. Hashem calls to the heavens, interestingly. Yikra el hashamayim me'ol. From above, He calls to the heavens and to the earth. And He judges His nation. Isvuli chasidoi, gather to me, O righteous ones. Korse brisi ale zavach, those who have a covenant with me. In regards to their korbanos, listen, because this is our subject. We're going to talk about korbanos. We're going to talk about the sacrifices. What are they? Does God need our sacrifices? We could talk about whether Hashem needs our tefillos. It's really the same conversation. Hashem knows what we need. Why are we davening to Him? Hashem doesn't eat food. Hashem doesn't need an animal of mine for me to bring it as a sacrifice on the altar. He's going to, it's the carbon tamid is completely burned. God does not need my animal to be burned in for Him. It's not something that He needs. Maybe we need to learn deference, and we'll talk about that. Vayagidu shamayim tzidkoi. The heavens speak of God's righteousness. Ki elikim shefet husela. Okay, so let's be clear. Pasuk says God is a judge. Hashem is judging Am Yisrael, and what that means is, let's not get all nervous here, because Hashem loves us. Hashem cares about us. Hashem wants the best for us. But there's a reality. If we don't, dubstep or kowtow to God's will, if we're not aligned with reality, which means that there are relationships between us and others, between us and Hashem, if we are busy being selfish, if we are busy involved in our egos, if we're not living aligned with the reality, which is that we're interdependent with our surroundings and with Hashem. So there's a knee-jerk reaction. There's a natural consequence. Shema Ami. So it's not clear. What are the pasukim talking about? It's definitely saying that there's something to do with Korbanos, and there's something to do with tzaddikim, doing what's right, and being aligned with Hashem, and there being justice, and Hashem has all these aspects. He's Kel, he's Elikim, he's Yud Kei Vav Kei. He's got judgment, and he's got power, and he's the driving force and the animating force of all of reality. But it has to do with Korbanos. What's that have to do with Korbanos? So listen up. Shema Ami v'adaber Yisrael v'idabach. Listen, my nation, I'm going to speak, O people of Israel. I'm going to testify about you. Elokim Elikecha Anochi. I am God. I am your God. Lo yazvachecha oichichecha v'losecha lenegdi tamid. Now, when you bring a korban, when you come to Hashem and you daven 3 times a day, you do the daf yomi, whatever, however your Yiddishkeit looks. So it's easy to think, look, I'm doing my dues. I'm paying my dues. Hashem, now you got to give me whatever I want. Right? I bring my korban. Hashem, you forgive me for my avera. Now, show me the money. Where's the parnasa? Where's the good life? Where's the health? Where's the good kids? Show it to me. I'm doing my part, God. Hashem says, hold on, step back. Okay? We can talk about it from our perspective of mitzvahs and learning and davening. But here the passuk is talking about what at that time was the main service of Hashem, and that was the Korbanos. So Hashem says, if you're not bringing your Korbanos, that's not the issue. I'm not going to look at or judge you based on the Korbanos that you're bringing or not bringing. That's not what's in front of me. I don't need the bull, the animal, out of your house. I don't need that which comes out of your corrals, the pasuk says. I don't need these animals. Let's be clear. All the animals in the world, all the wild animals in the forest, they're mine. I've got them. They're under my jurisdiction. I have animals on thousands of mountains. I don't need your animals. Yadati kolei farim. I know all the birds in the mountains. V'ziz sadai imodi. I'm not sure exactly what this means. It's the animals that move from place to place, that are in the fields. They're with me. They're mine. If I was hungry, I'm not going to leave my hunger for you to satiate my hunger. And I don't need you to help me. I own everything. I've got it all. Hashem's like, I don't need your korbanos. I don't need your service. I don't need your tefillas. I don't need your mitzvahs. Just be clear. Just be clear. When I do something for Hashem, Hashem does not need my mitzvah. He doesn't need my Torah. He doesn't need I'm not offering him anything in the actual thing that I'm giving him. I am going to offer him something, and that's what we'll see. Let's be clear. I don't want you to get your hopes down. There is something that I offer Hashem, but let's see what it is. Do you think that I need to eat these distinguished animals that you bring to me? You think I'm interested in drinking the blood of these animals that you sprinkle on the mizbeach? Zevach le'lekim toida. Shalim le'elyon d'darecha. Pasuk finally comes and tells us what it is that Hashem is looking for. What does Hashem want from us? And once we get this, we know that the Korbanos, the concept, the basis, the foundation of what they were then is no different from what we need to do today. Zevach le'lekim toida. Bring, the korban that you need to bring is your gratitude. Pay to Hashem your commitment. You make a neder, you promise Hashem something. That's the value. The value is that you committed to God something and then you did it. The value is that when you brought that carbon, you showed Hashem that you appreciate something that He gave to you. Don't bring your tefillah to Hashem and offer Him something and say, give me something back in return. The purpose of it is to learn unselfishness, to realize that what I have is His, to realize that the way of my growth is through making a commitment to Hashem and showing up for that commitment. You're going to call out to me on a day of difficulty, irrespective of whether you brought a carbon to me, Hashem says. You're going to call out to me, and I'm going to save you, and you'll honor me. You'll appreciate the fact that I saved you. You know the classic joke, oh, Hashem, help me find a parking spot. Oh, forget it, I found one. Right? No, you ask Hashem for something, He gives it to you. Appreciate it. Announce it. Put a moda'ah, put an advertisement in your local newspaper. Hashem helped me. I did this segula. I asked Hashem for help. That's the segula. And He helped me. Announce it to the world without your name. Anonymous. Listen to this. We have to be so careful that we're not the Russia, the wicked person of this passuk. Hashem says, look, you want to talk Torah? And you want to think that you're righteous? And your mouth is full of, it's bouncing off your tongue. Watch out for this. The Russia says, Hashem says to the wicked person, don't be talking about Torah. Don't be talking about spirituality. Don't be talking about everything good. And you don't hear the message of what's it about. What is the purpose of the carbon? It's to show gratitude, not to get what you want. It's to recognize that you got what you want. But the wicked person talks Torah, but is not interested in being someone different. And Hashem says to the wicked person, you threw away my word. You missed the point. You see a guy who's a ganav, dishonest in money, in business. You're running after him. You're trying to join up with him. You're involved with all kinds of illicit behavior. On the outside, looks great. Talking spiritual, talking Torah, but on the inside, it's all just a fraud. It's all a deceit. Teshev be'achicha tedaber, be'benimcha titen doifi. You sit with your brother and you speak, and you're busy fooling your friends and your siblings. This is what you did, and I was quiet, and you thought that I'm just like you. You created God in your own negative image. You're going to see the truth. We start out talking about judgment. There's an honesty. The psukim are asking us for honesty. Let's not make a mistake, the passuk says. We're doing what's right. We're talking the right talk. But inside of ourselves, we're busy thinking all these selfish thoughts. How can I get what I want from my neighbor, from my friend, from my God? Is he my God, or am I his man? Am I trying to make Hashem my God, my man, to do my will? Or am I trying to make myself the person who's willing to do Hashem's will? Something happens in my life that I don't like, am I busy saying, hey God, why is my will not being done? Or am I saying, as you wish, Hashem, as you wish? Binu nazois shechecheleka. It says Asaf, the author of this parak of Tehillim, understand this, those who have forgotten Hashem. Penetrate matzil, because You're headed into disaster. No one's going to save you from this. He finishes off with the foundation. This is what a korban is about. This is what our tefillah is about. It's not about getting what I want. It's not Hashem, give me, give me, give me. It's Hashem, you're the one who gave me. You're the one who gave me. Then we could talk about asking for more. You're the one who cures. Please cure again. You're the one who has provided and provides for Am Yisrael. Provide again. The tefillah that's just about grab, 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 it's not going to work. You want to know what the right path is? You want to know what the foundation is? Bring a korban toida. Which doesn't have to mean literally bringing that sacrifice, but bring the sacrifice of your ego by saying, it's not me, God, you did this for me. My success, it's nothing to do with me. It's because you dropped the idea in my mind. Nothing to do with me. If I have parnasa, it's you. If I have success and recognition, it's you. And if I have nothing, it's you too. I thank you. I show honor to you, Hashem. That's the foundational path. Arenu b'yesh elikim. I will show you the salvation of Hashem. You want to get salvation? It's counterintuitive. It's not by grabbing it. It's not by asking for it. It's by saying thank you for what I already have. It's by honoring HaKadosh Baruch Hu and saying thank you. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, because Hashem does not need my tefillah. Hashem does not need my thanks even. Hashem does not, it's just for me to get out of my own grabbiness, to get out of my own foolishness, to get out of my own ego. That's the psukim. We don't need to read much more than that. Once we got the psukim say enough. But I'd like to share with you how the Midrash talks about it, because it's beautiful as well. Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, don't think that I need Am Yisrael's Korbanos. I don't need their sacrifices. Don't make that mistake. The whole world is mine. The animal that you're bringing, I created it. It brings us. It brings our pasukim in Tehillim. If I be hungry, I'm not asking. I don't need to ask you for food. I don't even eat. I don't drink. So what's the concept here? Why is Hashem asking us to do? What is Hashem asking us to do? So listen here. Reb Simon deepens the issue. Hashem is the greatest Rachamon, the most merciful. 13 attributes of mercy, unconditional love. Learn the Sefer Taimei Devar goes on and on about Hashem's unconditional love. The human being is the most cruel, the most conceited, the most selfish, the most self-centered. Hashem, who's the most merciful, is going to ask the most self-centered, cruel creation to give him something that he needs. He doesn't need it. The purpose of it is so that you should get out of your self-centeredness and your cruelty. It's not because Hashem needs it. He's already a Rachamon. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need anything from me. He needs us to become like him. That's what it means. That's what it means in the passuk. The passuk is saying, if I would be hungry, I wouldn't be asking you for it. I'm asking you for it because you need it. Interestingly, Yehuda Reb Simon says that Hashem, if we look at the animals that Hashem asks for, the different korbanos, there's lots of kosher animals. There are 10 different kosher animals. Why do we only have 3 different animals that are brought? There are 3 animals that are domesticated animals that are under the care of human beings. I didn't require of you, Hashem says, that you go out to the mountains and find animals that you don't need to bring an ibex. You don't need to bring a yael for your korban. You don't need to bring a giraffe. You don't need to bring a deer. Use the animals that you have. Use the animals that you have. Hashem does not expect us to do something that's too difficult. Hashem wants us to serve Him in a way that's within our grasp, within our means, easily attainable. The Midrash says, look, the passuk refers to, and we mentioned this all the way at the beginning, but here we come back to it. It's my korban. It's my bread. Hashem needs to eat. Hashem needs our wine libations. He's thirsty. He wants to have a nice drink. Right? What do we see? Look at the malachim. Look at the angels. They don't eat anything. They're called the mesharsim. They're called the servants of Hashem. They're just fire. Where do they get their sustenance from? They don't eat anything. Right? We know the angels came down to Avraham. They met with him. They ate, quote unquote, but they don't really eat. So where do they get their existence from? Pasuk says that where do the angels get their existence from? They get it from the light of Hashem, the face of Hashem. They don't need physical sustenance from food. They get their sustenance from Hashem. Spiritual things don't need sustenance like we do. So Hashem doesn't need sustenance. In fact, Hashem is the one who provides sustenance. Another aspect of it, and we're going to tie it together, try to understand what's going on here, what the Midrash is trying to say. The pasuk says the korban, the oila. It's an interesting thing. It says it was the constant offering that was made on Mount Sinai. Now, what korbanos were made on Mount Sinai? At Har Sinai, there were korbanos that were brought adjacent to Har Sinai, but nothing was brought on Har Sinai. What does it mean? In Taimer Sheish Lefanai Achilu Shtila Mami Moshe. What it means to say is there's something that's made on Har Sinai. You can see something, you can learn something from what happened at Mount Sinai in regards to Moshe Rabbeinu, who stood on Har Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights, and then another 40, and then another 40, 120 days. Moshe Rabbeinu was there on Mount Sinai. He went up to heaven. He was there with Hashem, as it were. And what did he do? He didn't eat anything. He didn't drink anything there. If in heaven there was such a thing as eating and drinking, so he would have eaten, he would have ate, he would have drank. That's not what happened there, right? Hashem does not need to eat anything. Hashem does not need to drink anything. Hashem does not need our korban. What is it for? What is it for? It's for us. It's for us. One more piece of the Midrash. Very interesting, a similar concept. Notice the concept, because we're talking about what are the korbanos. We bring this actual animal. We also bring wine libations. There's water libations. There's oil that's mixed into the flour offerings. Do you ever hear a farmer who has vineyards and they say, you know what? If you want to make the vines grow really well, let's bring some wine. Let's bring the product of the vine. Pour wine abundantly upon the vines and you'll have even more grapes than ever. You ever hear such a thing? Ridiculous. If you want here, this is right behind me. I know you can't see, but right above me, there's an olive tree, right? You can see the trunk. You know, let's bring lots of oil, olive oil. If we pour a lot of olive oil, we'll make more oil, more better olives. The product of the tree doesn't help the tree make more. That's a mashal. What do you think? I need my creations? You think Hashem, who created the entire world, needs his creations to give him something that's going to make him better or greater? Of course not. Right, if a person is walking along, he's a little person, he walks and he needs a drink. He's standing by a river, he drinks a little bit of water. But Hashem fills the entire world. Hashem fills all of the oceans. Who can measure me in comparison to all the waves of the sea? I asked you to bring a bit of wine libations, a bit of water libations on Sukkot. So here's where it gets interesting. And the thing that I really want to take out of the midrash. Mepharshim explain that what you see here is something very interesting. Hashem, as it were, does not need anything from us. Hashem, as it were, has everything already. He's not asking us, pathetic human beings, sorry to say that, but in comparison to him, he created everything. He's got it all. He doesn't need my offering. But they point out something cool, something interesting. Hashem says, bring a shore, bring a seh, bring a bull, an ox, a bull, bring a sheep, bring a bird. Those are three very different things. If Hashem is very hungry, he wants a big bull. He's very hungry, he wants to eat a lot of meat. So why is it? He says all of them. He says a reich nichayach. That's how the Marzu brings from the Sifri. He says by all of them, it's a beautiful smell. I enjoy the smell of your korban. What does it mean? So he explains. Hashem, it doesn't matter to him what you bring. If you can't bring this, you bring this. If you can't bring this, you bring that. A poor person brings a mincha. He brings a flower offering. It's not about what you brought. It doesn't matter how big it is. I want your ratzon. The thing that Hashem wants, the thing that gives him nachas, that he enjoys, is that we've given up something of ourselves. That's what he's looking for. That's what he's after. And Hashem is not, it depends who you are, of course, because he's after us giving up our will, giving up a piece of ourselves. But for him, it doesn't really matter. He's got it all. It doesn't matter if it's a big thing, a little thing, a small thing. Hashem has all the water in the world. Doesn't matter, big thing, medium thing, small thing. He just wants us to give up something. He wants us to give up our egos, like we saw in the pasukim in Tehillim. He wants us to give up ourselves. He wants to give up our selfishness. That's what he's after. And if you think about it, a human being, I want this, I want a house, I want 5 cars, I want 10 cars, I have 10 cars, I want 100 cars on us. I want, once you want, you want. There's no end to the wanting. And Hashem is saying, look, I could want. I'm a big God. I don't want. That's not it. All I want is for you to let go of what you want. Hashem is like, as it were, an example of not needing. It doesn't matter to him if it's a big animal, a small animal, a bird. It doesn't matter to him. He's not a Baal Taiva, so to speak. Kiviyachol. He doesn't need a lot. He just wants us to, this one little thing. Just give it up. Just give it up. He wants us to just give it up. Yeah, it costs you money. Give it up. What you can afford, give it up. Give up what you want. Just say thank you. It's so hard to say thank you. It's so hard to admit it. It's just Hashem. No, if I say thank you, so then maybe Hashem will give me what? No. Just say thank you. Forget all the ulterior motives. Forget trying to get what you want. Forget having bitachon because you want to get what you want. First start off with saying thank you. I know that this is what I needed. I know that everything that I have is what I'm supposed to have. Start with that. If I can start with that, I can get everything. It's like, I keep thinking about the idea that Shabbos is a day of rest. It's a pause. It's a pause. All week long I'm running and I'm running and I'm running trying to get what I want. But where do I really get what I want? It's only from Hashem. It's the moment of reminder. Varya Kaplan talks about the lulav. We go in, right? We have 6 days of the week and we have the seventh day, which is the pause, the stop. And then in space, you have 6 directions. You move the lulav back and forth, and every time it comes back to the center, which is here. Ana Hashem, Vishiana. Whenever you say Hashem, you pause, you bring it back to the middle, you stop movement. And the center, the Shabbos, is the Makor HaBracha. The reminder that it's Hashem is the root of it all. I can't accomplish anything unless the 6 directions are infused with the center, which is Hashem. Unless the 6 days of the week are infused with the center, which is Shabbos, which is the pause, which is the quiet. The Korbanos are not there for us to try to grab what we want. Hashem's not interested in those Korbanos. The Korbanos are there for us to stop and acknowledge and say, thank you, Hashem. I don't need your Korbanos, Hashem says. I don't need bring me thousands of Korbanos. I'm not interested. I've got all the animals in the world. I'm just interested in one thing. I'm interested in your heart. I'm interested in the place that you give up your belief that it's you. Sefer opens to the right page. You open your Siddur, it opens to the right page. Oh, it's coincidence. Oh, Hashem doesn't really care about me. Stop. Just give it up. Say thank you, Hashem. A little thing. Just say thank you, Hashem. Every little thing, it's all Him. I just took a breath. It's you, Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. My heart is beating. Thank you, Hashem. I can talk. I can share a word of Torah. I can inspire. It's not me. It's you, Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. I want to bless you. I ask you to bless me. Hashem should help us to realize what our Korbanos are about, realize what our tefillas are about, what our mitzvahs are about. It's not about me proving myself to anybody or anything. Hashem should help us to recognize that it's just about saying thank you to Him. It's just about honoring Him. Hashem should help us to be in that space of hoidah, of gratitude, of admission, of dependence on Him. Hashem should help us to have every success that mamela comes, automatically comes from that recognition. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos.
This podcast was made possible through the gracious donations of listeners like you. For more podcasts like this, please visit www.arigoldwag.com or search on iTunes Ari Goldwag.